Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're looking at a source that, well, it makes some pretty bold claims about how much your thoughts can do.
It really does. We're unpacking an infographic called The Mind's Blueprint, a guide to anti-aging and happiness.
And it reads less like a guide and more like, I don't know, a user manual for your own mind and body. It connects things we normally see as totally separate: longevity, happiness, even how you look.
And argues they all come from one place, your mental state.
The hook is, it's pretty wild. Can you actually think your way to looking younger or living longer? It's not just positive thinking.
No, it's way beyond that. The source argues the body is just a form of expression for the heart and mind.
Like your mind is the projector and your body is the screen.
That's a perfect way to put it. It says that if you feel, say, nervous or generous on the inside, that's what you are broadcasting to the world physically.
You can just see it on someone.
Right. And it takes that idea a step further. It calls this personality as destiny. The argument is that your inner state is so consistently expressed outwards that it eventually just determines the entire course of your life.
So to change your life, you have to change the broadcast signal, which I guess brings us to the mechanics of it. The law of mental attraction and vibration. Now, vibration can sound a little abstract. How do they define it here?
You define it through resonance. The core idea is like attracts like. So your mind is on a certain wavelength. If you're constantly on a wavelength of, say, anxiety,
You can't attract peace.
you're physically incapable of it. Your mind just doesn't have the right receiver.
So it's like a radio tuner. If I'm tuned to 98.5 doom and gloom, I literally can't hear what's playing on 101.5 Success FM.
That's the perfect analogy. And the blueprint says that by imagining a positive outcome, you are actively changing the station. You're realigning your entire resonance.
And that builds resilience.
Exactly. A bright mind, as they call it, just doesn't resonate with negative things.
So bad stuff just bounces off. It doesn't stick.
Precisely. There's nothing for it to latch onto. But, and this is a huge but, the source is very clear that this works both ways.
Right, the danger of prophecy. This part honestly spooked me a little bit.
It's intense.
It specifically warns against looking in the mirror and thinking, ugh, I'm getting so old.
Because it frames that thought as a literal instruction you're giving to your cells. If you keep dwelling on images of misfortune or aging, you are broadcasting that into your reality, and you're telling your body to age faster.
So the fix isn't just to stop thinking that. The source says you need habitual visualization.
And it has to be active. It says when you have free time, instead of, scrolling on your phone, you should be actively, strongly visualizing a healthy, long life. You have to overwrite the default programming.
But here's where I saw a bit of a paradox. You have to visualize with all this intent, but then the very next section is about faith and letting go of control.
Yes, it's a tricky balance. You visualize the what, but you have to completely surrender the how.
High intention, low attachment.
Exactly that. You entrust the outcome to a higher power, it mentions God or Buddha, to get rid of worry. It actually calls worry a specific barrier to long life. If you're worrying, you're just vibrating with stress again.
You're gripping the steering wheel too tight and messing up the signal.
Correct. But for me, the most profound part of this entire blueprint was the very last piece, the mindset of service.
Oh, that line hit hard. As long as I can be of service, I will be allowed to live.
It just reframes everything. Suddenly, it's not about vanity, I want to look young. It makes longevity about utility.
It suggests that there's a system that invests energy in things that are useful to the whole.
And if you stop believing you are of service, if you feel
The
useless.
system starts to shut down. Wow. So to recap the blueprint, manage your vibration through visualization, stop telling yourself you're getting old, and surrender control while finding a way to be useful to others.
It basically turns anti-aging from, like, a skincare routine into a purpose routine.
It certainly makes you rethink what you do with your downtime, and that leaves us with something for you to mull over. If longevity is truly tied to being of service, does that mean finding a purpose isn't just a psychological need, but an actual biological survival mechanism? Thanks for listening to this deep dive.
See you next time.